Dr. Gregory House is not your typical doctor. He is a man who defies the conventional image of a medical professional. He is brilliant but flawed. His intelligence is unparalleled, making him one of the most exceptional diagnosticians in the world. He is sarcastic, rude, and often downright cruel. His biting wit and sharp tongue can cut through even the toughest of exteriors, yet he is also captivating. There is something about his demeanor that draws people in, despite his abrasive nature. As viewers, we are drawn to his intelligence and his ability to solve medical mysteries that baffle others. His mind works in ways that are both fascinating and perplexing. We are also fascinated by his complexities, his contradictions, and his deeply human struggles. He is a man who battles his own demons while trying to save others. House's character is a study in contrasts. He is a puzzle, a man who is both simple and complex, straightforward yet enigmatic. He is a man of science, yet he often relies on intuition. His methods are unconventional, but they yield results. He is a doctor who saves lives, but he seems to have little regard for the well-being of his patients. His focus is on the puzzle, the challenge, rather than the person. He pushes people away, but deep down he craves connection. His isolation is self-imposed, yet it is clear that he yearns for understanding and companionship. House's personal life is as tumultuous as his professional one. He struggles with addiction, pain, and a past that haunts him. Despite his flaws, his dedication to solving medical mysteries is unwavering. He is relentless in his pursuit of the truth, no matter the cost. His brilliance is both a gift and a curse. It isolates him from others, yet it is what makes him indispensable. In the end, Dr. Gregory House is a character who embodies the complexities of the human condition. He is a man who is both deeply flawed and incredibly gifted, a doctor who is as much a mystery as the cases he solves. House's genius is undeniable. His diagnostic skills are unparalleled, and his ability to see what others miss is nothing short of extraordinary. He possesses an almost supernatural ability to diagnose rare and complex medical conditions. It's as if he has a sixth sense for uncovering the hidden truths of the human body. He sees patterns where others see chaos. In the midst of confusion, he finds clarity, piecing together symptoms and signs like a master detective solving a mystery. His mind is a labyrinth of medical knowledge, and he navigates it with ease. Every piece of information, every medical fact is meticulously catalogued in his brain, ready to be accessed at a moment's notice. However, House's brilliance is often overshadowed by his flaws. His genius comes with a heavy burden, and his personal demons are never far behind. He is arrogant, cynical, and misanthropic. His sharp tongue and abrasive personality often alienate those around him, making it difficult for anyone to get close. He has little patience for social niceties and seems to derive pleasure from proving others wrong. His need to be right often comes at the expense of his relationships. His behavior is often self-destructive, and he seems intent on pushing away anyone who tries to get close to him. Despite his incredible intellect, House is a deeply troubled soul, constantly battling his inner turmoil. His brilliance is both his greatest asset and his greatest curse, leaving him isolated in a world that both reveres and resents him. House's relationships with other characters provide valuable insights into his psyche. His friendship with Dr. James Wilson, his oncologist and only real confidant, is particularly revealing. Wilson represents the empathy and compassion that House lacks. He is the one person who can tolerate House's antics and still see the good in him. His interactions with his team of young doctors are also telling. He challenges them, belittles them, and often treats them with disdain. Yet he also sees their potential and pushes them to be better doctors. House's physical pain, caused by an infarction in his leg, is a constant presence in his life. This pain is not just a fleeting sensation, but a relentless, gnawing ache that he has to contend with every single day. It's a reminder of his vulnerability, a stark contrast to his otherwise sharp and unyielding persona. This chronic pain has not only shaped his personality, but also serves as a metaphor for his emotional suffering. The physical agony he endures mirrors the emotional turmoil that he often hides behind a facade of sarcasm and indifference. His pain is a constant companion, influencing his interactions and decisions. He uses pain, both physical and emotional, as a coping mechanism. It's a way for him to exert control over his life, to channel his suffering into something tangible. By focusing on his pain, he can avoid confronting the deeper issues that plague him, such as his fear of intimacy and his distrust of others. It allows him to distance himself from others and avoid vulnerability. Pain becomes a shield, a barrier that keeps people at arm's length. He believes that by embracing his pain, he can protect himself from further emotional harm. This self-imposed isolation, however, only deepens his sense of loneliness and alienation. His addiction to Vicodin, a powerful painkiller, is another manifestation of his desire to numb his emotional pain. The pills offer a temporary escape, a brief respite from the relentless torment. But this reliance on medication also highlights his inability to cope with his emotions in a healthy way. He uses drugs to escape from the world, to silence the demons that haunt him. The Vicodin becomes a crutch, a way to dull the edges of his reality. Yet this escape is fleeting, and the pain always returns, often stronger than before. His struggle with addiction is a testament to the depth of his suffering and his desperate need for relief. House's Vicodin addiction is a central theme throughout the series. He relies on the drug to function, to dull the constant pain in his leg and the turmoil in his mind. The addiction is symbolic of his inability to cope with his emotions healthily. It highlights his self-destructive tendencies and his deep-seated fear of vulnerability. His addiction also creates conflict with his colleagues and loved ones. They see his dependence as a weakness, a threat to his well-being. This conflict further isolates House, pushing him deeper into his addiction. House's detachment from others is a defense mechanism. It is a way to protect himself from being hurt. He builds walls around himself using sarcasm, cynicism, and intellectual superiority as shields. He pushes people away before they have a chance to see his vulnerabilities. This detachment, while protecting him from pain, also prevents him from experiencing genuine connection. He is trapped in a cycle of self-sabotage, pushing away the very people who could offer him solace. Despite his gruff exterior, House is not devoid of empathy. There are moments, albeit fleeting, when his humanity shines through. He connects with patients who are suffering, recognizing their pain as a reflection of his own. He shows compassion for those who are vulnerable and alone. These moments are significant because they reveal the inner conflict within House. He wants to be compassionate, to connect with others, but his fear and pain hold him back. The power of vulnerability. House's journey throughout the series is in many ways a struggle with vulnerability. He fears letting people in, afraid of being hurt or rejected. However, it is through his moments of vulnerability that he experiences the most significant growth. When he allows himself to be vulnerable, to let down his guard, he opens himself up to the possibility of genuine human connection. It is in these moments that we see the true complexity of his character. House and his patients. A shared struggle. It is no coincidence that House is drawn to patients with rare and complex medical conditions. He sees in them a reflection of his own struggles. They are outsiders, misunderstood and often marginalized. He empathizes with their pain, their fear and their desperation. Through diagnosing and treating his patients, House is also trying to heal himself. He is searching for answers, for meaning, and for a way to make sense of his own suffering. The enduring appeal of a flawed genius. Dr. Gregory House is not a likable character in the traditional sense. He is abrasive, insensitive, and often cruel. Yet he is also one of the most compelling characters in television history. His brilliance, his flaws, and his vulnerability resonate with audiences. We are drawn to his intelligence, his wit, and his ability to challenge the status quo. We are fascinated by his complexities, his contradictions, and his deeply human struggles. Conclusion: unmasking the man behind the curtain. Dr. Gregory House is a character of immense depth and complexity. He is a brilliant doctor, a flawed human being, and a captivating enigma. His story is a reminder that even the most brilliant minds can be plagued by inner demons. Through his journey, we are forced to confront our own perceptions of genius, flaw, and the human condition. We are left to ponder the question, what lies beneath the surface of this enigmatic and enduring character?